Number 10. Rambutan. Rambutan, like many of the fruits on this list, is native to Southeast Asia, around the Malay Peninsula. This fruit actually grows on an evergreen tree, unlike most fruit that Western audiences, or really anybody at all, would be familiar with. While the strangest and most notable feature of the fruit is a spiny, almost alien-looking skin, it actually has several uses in the areas it is cultivated in. Besides being eaten as is, after peeling, the fruit also has a powerful and pleasant smell that people are willing to work hard to have. The fruit itself has a high magnesium content and is occasionally recommended by doctors in places where it is available. Number 9. Purple Mangosteen. With a name like Mangosteen, you just know that this fruit is going to have something interesting going on. Unlike its name, the purple mangosteen is actually a very boring looking fruit. Consisting of an uninteresting splotchy purple skin and containing an off-white flesh, anyone would be forgiven for thinking it was the world's blandest food. The fruit itself does actually have a mild taste that is very popular in stalls across most of Southeast Asia. Though import and export restrictions on the region mean that the purple mangosteen is much rarer in North America and Europe, it is gaining popularity in those markets due to the rise in tourism to Asia. Number 8. Wood apple. The wood apple is a popular fruit in the tropical Asian countries it grows in, due in large part to the ease with which it grows. The tree itself is strange in that it is covered in spiky bark that can stand as tall as 10 meters, nearly 3 standard building stories. The fruit itself is a bumpy brown color, with the flesh having a stringy, wet, and spongy feel. Though the fruit is safe and pleasant to eat on its own, it's much more common to make a juice out of it. Wood apple juice is very common in areas that grow a lot of the fruit, and is known for being absolutely fantastic at quenching thirst and being very refreshing. A lesser known, at least to people not native in the region, is that the wood apple has religious significance, especially among Buddhists, where it is considered a worthy offering to Shiva. Number 7. SWAC. SWAC fruit is grown in relatively few countries. In fact, only being found naturally on the islands of Sumatra and Java, which are both part of the nation of Indonesia. Recently though, people and countries have worked to expand the cultivation area to include several other islands in Indonesia, as well as Malaysia and the small Asia-Pacific nation of East Timor. The fruit is about the size and shape of a ripe fig. Though the shape is distinctive, easily the most standout feature of the SWAC is its skin, which resembles scales, which gave the fruit its other name, snake fruit. Once the skin is peeled off, you find what appears to be garlic, though with a much sweeter smell. The actual flavor of the fruit is sweet, with a sharp acidic edge that will make you pucker like a lemon. While North America may not have much in the way of SWAC, tens of thousands of tons of the fruit are consumed every year in Asia, especially Indonesia. Number 6. Longan. Longan, a lesser-known cousin of the still not very well-known lychee berry, is primarily found in China. The longan has a wide variety of culinary uses, due in part to how easy it is to grow, and how much of it grows when it is properly cultivated. The seed and shell are discarded and the flesh is often eaten raw, with a sweet, juicy flavor that is used as both a regular food and a treat in some places. In addition to eating it raw, longan is also frequently used in soups, stews, and even jams. While the culinary uses may be the most well-known and used, longan also has a place in Asian folk medicine. The seed on the fruit was removed and pressed against a snake bite, or the bite of any other venomous animal, and was said to absorb the venom from the wound. While this property has been proved ineffective on numerous occasions, it is still widely used in South Asia where the plant grows most easily. Number 5. NEPA Seeds. The NEPA is a type of palm tree, though it is a palm unlike any other in the entire world. The difference between the NEPA palm and the other palm trees is that the NEPA is widely considered by the scientific community to be the only palm tree that is adapted to survive and thrive in the mangrove biome. Mangroves are a fairly uncommon type of region that consists mainly of grasses, trees, and various other plants that grow partially submerged in lakes, rivers, and even saltwater. The fruit itself grows as a cluster of spiky red pods, which local people often tap for a sweet sap that they contain. If allowed to grow and ripen, the fruit takes on a very sweet taste. The sap and the fruit are both used to make an incredibly sweet type of alcohol called bahal, which can even be further distilled to make a very strong alcoholic drink called arak. Number 4. Water apple. Water apples are a staple fruit in many Southeastern Asian countries, though it is only really available when in season due to how fast they are consumed. The tree that the fruit grows on is relatively short when compared to regular apple trees, with the bark being used in a few different types of traditional herbal medicines. The fruit itself is a very crisp and watery flesh, similar in feel to a watermelon or cantaloupe. Surprisingly, or not depending on who you ask, the taste is slightly sweet with a more mild overall taste, very similar to more traditional apples. The fruit is primarily found in Papua New Guinea and Indonesia, which are also the main areas where you can buy it. Especially relevant to the popularity of water apples is that they can be kept for months in a refrigerator, which allows them to be eaten throughout the year and become a big part of the region's culinary diet. Number 3. Yangmei. Yangmei, which is often called a Chinese strawberry or bayberries, are a small berry fruit that vaguely resembles the strawberries that they are sometimes named after. The fruit is primarily eaten raw, in which case it has a very sweet flavor, which gives it the name since it tastes much more like traditional strawberries. Besides raw, the fruit is often canned or preserved to be eaten out of season. A more creative way to keep the fruit is to pack it in a baijiu, which is a type of Chinese liquor. Some less common uses include a brilliant red dye due to its skin, and as a yogurt flavoring in regions where the strawberries are rarer, or take a backseat in the culture to the Yangmei. Number 2. Sapodilla. The sapodilla is different than nearly every other fruit here, in that it actually grows in the Americas. Though originally native to the New World, it was quickly exported to the former Spanish and Portuguese empires, and is now grown in large amounts in the countries of Pakistan, India, Thailand, Malaysia, Cambodia, and Indonesia, in addition to Mexico, which is the only major producer of the fruit on an industrial scale in North America. The fruit is said to be as sweet as candy, and has the texture of a ripe pear, grainy but not unpleasant. In contrast to the fairly juicy flesh, the fruit actually dries your mouth due to the chemical makeup of the fruit. Number 1. Soursop. Soursop is a fruit native to the Americas, though the exact location of its origin has been lost. The flavor and texture of the fruit is strange, to say the least. The flavor is most often described as a mixture of strawberry sweetness and the tart tang of a pineapple, with more sour citrus notes like lemon or lime. In terms of mouthfeel and texture, it gets even weirder. The soursop is described as being creamy in texture, like a banana or the flesh of a coconut. The soursop has even been assigned medicinal properties in the alternative medicine fields as a cure for cancer, all claims to which have been thoroughly debunked in multiple studies. Despite its huge popularity, many regions of the world have never seen or even heard of the soursop. Like the video, comment down below what you thought, and of course, subscribe to the channel.